It is a wonderful day. It is Sunday, of course. And today we're here to talk about, in accordance with Devil May Cry month, we're here to talk about the Devil May Cry anime that came out, I believe, in 2008.
2007.
2007. It came out in 2007, and since this new Devil May Cry game just came out, and since we're an anime podcast, but we're kind of attached to this Outs thing, and they're doing we're all doing Devil May Cry month. It is Devil May Cry anime podcast.
Well, it's
how's everyone doing?
Well, it's Devil May March over an Outpost, and since it's the Outpost anime podcast, yeah, we're doing the Devil May Cry anime. Anyways,
yeah.
Introductions.
Wow, everyone introduce themselves. Left to right in the Discord call. Left to right. Come on.
Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, let's just. All right.
Oh wait, that really doesn't work?
Yeah, it doesn't work. Everyone switches around.
Really?
Yeah.
One for once, and Mike, you go first.
All right, 676 here. I've got a bone to pick with some sound engineers.
All right.
Lewis.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. The name is Striker Red, and I'm gonna tear this enemy a new asshole.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. RJ?
Hey, Red Baron, RJ. I've been friends with some of these for a while, and I'm a huge Devil May Cry fan, so gonna have some fun tonight.
We're about to test some friendships tonight. Josh?
Oh, boy.
Getsuryu, and even though I'm probably the edgiest person in this, I hated this edgy anime, so this is gonna be fun.
And I am, of course, Neo Tokyo Tempo. All right, let's get this started. All right, so Devil May Cry anime, of course, is an adaptation of the Devil May Cry video game series, which came out on the PlayStation 2, I believe.
Yep.
I played it a little bit as a kid, like a little bit, because my sister had a PS2, but I had an Xbox, so I didn't play that much. So I'm not particularly familiar with the games. So I was going into this pretty blind. But I don't think that should be, necessarily like a bad thing. For instance, if I watch an anime, I don't really have to read the manga to understand what's going on. It should be kind of the same with a video game adaptation or any adaptation. I don't think an anime or any adaptation needs to rely on external material in order to tell its story. In fact, that's a bad thing. It should all be internally consistent. But from what I've heard from other people in here that have played the actual games, there are some inconsistencies between the games and the anime. Mike, you had something that you had to say about.
First, Devil May Cry, you gotta think, this comes from the same people who made Resident Evil. The original game was the prototype for RE4. So camp and that kind of self-awareness of, that we know this is stupid, to kind of make you enjoy it, was there. It feels like the anime took camp and switched out with edgy, and in the worst ways possible. They missed the entire point of what the original game series was, and instead just tried to choreograph.
Like towards the end. But I think you had said in episode 2 Highway Star, when Dante wrecks the bridge, he's racing.
Yeah.
He's racing Red Eye that demon who lures people to a race to the death.
Yeah, the dude's brother.
Yeah, the brother of one of the bikers. He's Dante insists, "Hey kid, don't follow me," and the kid's like, "Who are you to tell me what to do?" And he's like, "Dude, no, seriously, that's a demon." Well, so Dante destroys a bridge in the process of killing a demon.
Okay,
which
he
is
takes
edgy.
two. He takes two pistols that I played a small bit of the original games, enough to know that the pistols weren't that strong. He takes two pistols and destroys a massive reinforced steel structure just by shooting at it a bunch of times.
What caliber is that?
It
You'd need like
it looks to be between like 45 and 50 caliber.
Yeah, it's
but-
they look like 45s,
but, you know-
but you'd need like a tank penetrating like, you know.
Well, let's just give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's 50 caliber. It's not going to be 50 BMG, and even if it was, it still might not be strong enough to collapse an entire bridge.
No.
I mean, the only way we're even going to be able to give it that much benefit of a doubt is by saying it's like, oh, these are demon pistols. Like he just has those lying around. It's like his like
My daddy gave him
ultimate,
to
like
me.
backup weapon or something. And in that case, it's like, then why do you even need the sword?
Or it's like,
So-
are they magical?
Well,
think so.
Ebony. Well, supposedly
But
Ebony.
that's giving.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's like you said. I have played the game series for a while. Yeah, his weapons, they're special. But the thing is, you need to be able to know that without playing the games.
Yeah. The show doesn't establish that, and I should not have to. You should not be making external material to tell your story.
The only way that I would even say it's okay is the fact that we know that he's a half demon. So we know that he's killed demons. He's probably acquired weapons by doing that. Like maybe you can establish it that way, but even then, it's like, okay, well, we've seen him struggle to kill things with these pistols. It's like, how can that? Either these demons are super super strong, or like.
Well,
I don't even
it's
know
just
then, because then it's like how strong are these demons compared to an entire bridge?
Or he's an incredibly incompetent shot.
It would
For
just.
that.
I would just want some sort of explanation. Like how, I just would want to know how at least, like it could be this. It's obviously not supposed to be a masterpiece, but just something.
So just to like kind of counterpoint that, I think it's just a bad anime. And this is a very no, and this kind of proves it right here. With most animes, you can kind of tell the power level of everything around it. Like it's like, okay, this is a normal police officer. He's this okay with a gun. This guy's actually good with a gun, and then this guy's better because he killed that guy. We go in and they just go, oh, there's demons, and Dante can kill them, but we don't know how strong these demons are compared to everything else around them, and they never really establish
We don't
that.
even particularly know how strong Dante is.
It stays inconsistent the entire time. Sometimes he's able to just one-shot a demon, and then one that's half its size, he spends like half the episode fighting.
And then, and then the freaking theme song, the intro from the theme from the intro starts playing, and then you see the demon falling apart.
Yeah, so it's you're usually able to establish how strong he is, and then you can kind of infer it's like, oh, these are special weapons, or these are, actually good things and good qualities about the character, or bad qualities, or anything like that. But until we get that establishment, which we don't get, like we get those inconsistencies of him not being able to fight certain things, and we don't know actually how strong everything in this world is. So we can't even compare. It's like maybe those weapons are strong enough to destroy a bridge. We don't understand why that happened, and maybe that was the moment that we're supposed to understand that demons are actually stronger than, buildings at this point. But
And
it's really hard to get to that point.
Are demons stronger than bridges?
Apparently, that's what we should take out of this.
I think also it could be explained. This is just speculation, so I'm not going to give them this as their out. But it could be that Dante's character is genuinely arrogant for the most part. So I could see him always being arrogant in combat, not really taking things seriously, and fucking it up and spending way too much time.
So he destroyed wait. So he destroyed a bridge with arrogance?
I mean, when it
Yeah, I
comes
don't
to
see
him
that.
taking too long to fight enemies.
Yeah.
And then he's,
Like, we
and
were
then he's
just
forced into this.
inconsistent
And then he's
against-
forced into a situation where he has to go all out. So
I mean,
Yeah, either way, like it seems very inconsistent on his power. Like even
Yeah.
if he could just was just messing around half the time. Like it's very inconsistent because even someone
Yeah.
messing around would play with it'd be more of like a play with his food kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's where
rather than-
that's where I don't think it's a good out for him because they still
Yeah,
screw
right.
that up.
Yeah. So
did anyone here notice the parallels between this show and Cowboy Bebop?
yes, I did. Other channels have noticed it as well. He's
All right. Like here. All right. Here's what I first noticed. All right. It was episode 3, was it? It was called Highway to Hell.
No, episode
All right,
2. Episode
that's-
2. Wait, which one was Highway to Hell?
Okay.
3 is not.
All right.
Love.
Well.
Episode
Okay.
2 was
All right. Episode 2 was Highway to Hell.
No,
all
Highway
right?
Star.
Highway Star. Okay, it was Highway Star. My point will still stand because Highway Star is the name of a Deep Purple song. So right off the bat, we're getting episode names that are musical references.
It's also the name of a
Um,
stand in JoJo.
Go ahead.
actually,
And then of course the episodes are they're named missions. So they have a special name for episodes.
Transcription.
And then on top of that, here's where we get into much more obvious stuff. Is the episodic structure of the show, which revolves around Dante, who is a man who seems to be kind of carelessly drifting through life in mostly apathy, who ends up inadvertently getting himself involved in the ends of the plots of other characters from other stories, if that makes sense. And then the episode resolves. He still doesn't have any money, and he's
Go for broke.
still and he's still kind of apathetic, and he hasn't actually moved forward at all.
Yeah,
But
dude has a big
the problem with that kind of plot structure, or in their approach to that kind of plot structure, is in Cowboy Bebop, that what the main plot that was in the background was directly linked to Spike Spiegel, the main character. And whenever it would come up, you would then see Spike suddenly care about everything a lot. And then, of course, of course, I don't know if I want to spoil Cowboy Bebop. It's only been since 1997, but
we're gonna do
98.
a podcast on it. So go ahead anyways. Doesn't matter.
all right. But then when and then on top of that, the individual characters, that they, Cowboy Bebop and this show have a whole lot of one-off characters for each episode. In Cowboy Bebop, the way they're introduced, you immediately can relate to them, or at least decipher like what their personality is. Not all those characters are particularly interesting.
These guys are like cardboard
But-
cutouts. It's
Yeah.
like it's 2000s animation. If I may
Like,
say really quick, it reminds me a lot of like there's another one, Highlander, the Highlander anime, or just the basic animes from the 2000s. It just they're cardboard cutout characters.
Yeah, the main guy from the Highway Star episode. All right, describe to me his personality.
Just kind of like a spunky guy on a bike who wants revenge. That's it.
Basically, he wants revenge for his brother's death, and he tries to fight against the game.
All right. How well do you remember Cowboy Bebop?
I remember. Let's see, Mushroom episode. The episode with the other bounty hunter trying to steal Spike's game. Yeah, I remember it. That not
Okay,
extremely detailed.
That episode was called. It does like Wild Horses or something.
Yeah. It had the cowboy. It had the cowboy bounty hunter.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
Yeah, describe to me his personality.
That guy was just like, he was very animated and ridiculous. He was kind of like an inverse of Spike. He was just like, instead of being apathetic, he was just like ridiculous.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
the
was,
cowboy guy.
He was completely self-absorbed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had defining character traits about him. What do any, and that and that was kind of a throwaway episode.
Oh,
But
especially the
still,
ending.
but it was still, interesting and entertaining because you could see, you instantly grew to like this guy. But like I can't even like think of these one-off characters in Devil May Cry as people.
So the only one that I can think of as people, like the only two episodes I enjoyed were the poker one and then like the bitch boy one, which that was episode 5.
You mean the one where the guy tries to follow
Yeah.
his crush?
Yeah.
In private.
Yeah, and then he's like following around Dante, trying to like find out, like he's like, oh well, she said to be like him, so I'm gonna like follow him around and figure out what he
Oh.
does, and then like
That
get some
episode was
blackmail on him.
obnoxious.
That was
Yeah.
that was a pretty funny episode.
It was entertaining at least because it was like him just going, oh shit, Dante's like this guy, and it's like, oh fuck, it's like he's a murderer. Oh no, he's a fucking demon. This guy's a fucking demon. And he's like trying to tell like, the crush the entire time. And then like he's freaking out and he's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna skip town, like screw everyone, like I don't even want the girl anymore. Like
and then Dante he accidentally comes across Dante hunting a giant demon.
yeah, like it's that was like one of the only characters that I remember just because like he was like stalker obsessed and then it just got really, really bad the entire time. And then also the girl that he was after was probably like the only good looking like female
Okay,
in like this
there was
edgelord show.
Oh boy.
there was
A couple,
like
but-
there was a part in that episode. Where he's-
What you're saying is she's one of the more memorable ones.
yeah.
All right,
One of the only memorable
there was a part in that episode where he's walking around like in like dark alleyways at night, and I was like, all right, a trash can is going to be knocked over and it's going to be a cat. And then like immediately after I said that to myself, it happened. and then you heard like noises come from the darkness again, and I was just like, please be another cat.
Yeah.
Because that would be absolutely hilarious.
Like that was like the only episode where I got attached to a character, not even like attached. It was like this is almost well written. Like I could see the way that it should have went, but it was like it was there, right?
My brain has activated something above reptilian functions watching that.
I remembered that episode. That was the important thing, and I only remembered like 3 episodes after watching it this week.
I'll be honest, Cindy was pretty energetic. Like she was a straight up ditz.
Yeah, no, and that was the character.
Yeah,
and I mean, it very much reminded me of like, fuck, what was that stupid musical? Grease. Like half the girls in that musical.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what that character. Cindy, reminded me of.
All right. Does anyone remember that episode where it's the record?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of liked that one.
All right. Did anyone notice the main guy, the one-off character from that?
Mhm.
He kind of looked like Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Lord.
Wait.
And
really afro and
like,
so.
It's kind of funny because
especially with the hair.
we're realizing that this anime that was supposed to be like an homage to all of the Devil May Cry games is like a really, really shitty homage to
Cowboy Bebop.
All right.
Like
And
it's
not
literally
only
just
that-
rip off Cowboy Bebop and then throw in
okay.
Devil May Cry characters and stuff.
Not only does that guy look like Spike Spiegel, but the demon lady in her normal human form looks like Julia.
You talking about Trish?
No,
Yeah.
no.
No,
Elena
the singer.
What was it?
Elena
Yeah, the
Houston.
singer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Elena Houston. Yeah. The singer. She looks like Julia.
I haven't noticed that until now, to be honest with
Holy
you.
smokes! You're kidding me. That took
I-
me a
Yeah,
second.
I shit you not.
I noticed it instantly.
So basically, we're reviewing shit Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
Okay, so
And you know what's bad? Cowboy Bebop really built on its sound and music and things, and everything about the sound in Devil May Cry just irks me.
Like, yeah, just let's go on to this this episode with like the vinyl record thing. That song that was played was fucking not great. It was like, oh yeah, this is the catchy tune. We need fighting music to leave it on, and like the song was like, this is the song that we're gonna use.
I've seen like rock bands assemble in an anime and make much better music than that.
Oh, like
Like
if you want to go for a really good one, go to Angel Beats. Angel Beats has like a full album, and the band that they created out of it toured for like 3 years.
do you
This was not that.
yeah, do you remember that song from Hadahi, that God Knows song? That was
I covered it with
unironically
an
good
anime
too.
band. Yeah, I covered it with an anime band. It's
Like the guitars absolutely shred in that song. It's amazing.
and
But this
then we get
one that song is just it's very generic, like late 90s kind of like edgy rock music.
If you want a good like a good anime that did the music right in about the same time period, there's one called I think it's Black Desert. I can't remember. But
Desert Punk?
no, there was like it was a very underground anime. And like that does this and it was about the same time period, and that did its anime. I mean, that did the soundtrack way better with its own band too.
There,
So
all right,
fine.
there is one thing about the sound design that I liked, and that was the commercial cards had
Devil
they
May
would
Cry.
play. Well, they would. I was watching it in Japanese. They would play like a. They would play sound effects from that appear to be from the PS2 games.
They even used the same icon for like the loading screen.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's one point
They're
that keeps coming back to my mind that I want to say is this is just basically an OVA. Like when you think about it, it's an OVA because video game OVAs, it's an out of place OVA, and I say out of place because it's from a different era.
I would have preferred this to only be 3 episodes if it was an OVA.
Well, that's the thing, if I may say.
it instead of an OVA, it more felt like an accompanying DVD that would come with the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said that to Will a couple of nights ago. I was saying this should have come with like Devil May Cry 3, like
Like,
Dante's Awakening.
It more like bonus features a day in the
Even-
life of Dante.
Even then, I feel like I don't know. It would just kind of be a waste to even do that.
Found it, Black Heaven, and that was made in 1999, and that did it better.
It is
There you
their
I'll be
whole
honest
sound
with you.
design. Their sound design bothers me so much.
Well,
I mean, it was nice they let their 12-year-olds mix it, but come on. They couldn't figure out the space of the room, so it sounded like they were in an echo chamber. When, like, there was a scene where Dante's talking to Morrison, and the reverb is ridiculous. It sounds like they're in this huge grand auditorium when it's not that big of a room.
Yeah.
Then whoever decided to mix the demons' voices, half the time it's like, hey, let's see how many effects we can put on this so it's unintelligible.
Like this entire anime, like ground up, was just not done well. And I like. Does anyone know like the studio that was in charge of this?
Madhouse was the
Madhouse.
was the company
Madhouse,
in charge.
really?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like this is the same people that made Black Lagoon, Death Note, One Punch Man. Like was this
Yeah.
like their B-list staff making it then? Like this is
They
really
must
I
bad.
feel like this was their interns.
They
It was
must have
released by
just
Media
gave
Factory.
it.
It was released by Media Factory, and
I don't know. That maybe
It-
they gave it to their kids and had it rushed out in a week.
I'm
of all
looking
things,
at
it was dubbed by ADP
if we're talking about the
Studios.
sound though, really quick though, it's you notice like whenever like there's a battle going on, and they want you to really appreciate Dante, it's like da na 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 na, like for the friggin' theme starts.
Oh, speaking of of battles, that fight choreography was some of the worst stuff I've ever seen.
Yes, let me cross my arms while firing pistols to put myself in the worst position possible. 'Cause it
And,
looks cool.
and from what you said, that's not he doesn't even do that in the games.
Never, not once.
All right, so
What is it? Wait, really? Repeat it. What does he do again?
he crosses his arms when
to
firing
fire
his
his
pistols
Wait, pointing forward or just sideways?
forward.
He does that in the game. I was just doing that right now.
In Devil May Cry 1, never did it. He
Dude,
maintained
gun-
dual
gun-
pistols
uh,
akimbo correctly.
That
And even then, though, that's not a good choreographed move. That looks stupid. Like, any person who's ever looked at a gun's like, that's a bad idea.
yeah. No,
Then
this entire thing is just.
and then like half the time, everything's too zoomed in to like see what's going on, and then the other half, it's way zoomed out, and there's like not really much motion.
There was another one where he like sticks his sword into the wall and then somehow swings up while sitting sideways. It made no sense the way he did this jump. I think it was it was a fight in the streets. I'm trying to remember which episode it was. It was one of the later episodes, and it looked bad. I think it was either episode 10 or 11.
You're
was just-
you're roboting a bit.
Yeah.
My bad.
Hey,
It's
after this, can we talk shit about Patty, because that is the most annoying character in that fucking anime.
You know, she was really annoying, but she was like the
Memorable.
yeah she
she
was
actually was probably one of my favorite characters, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, as annoying as she was, anytime she was on screen, at least my brain turned back on.
yeah
Like, she was annoying. She just rolled over every other character
She-
there. She's like, I'm gonna be the center of attention.
I'm going to act like a human being.
Yes, a child who, just almost got murdered, who is also spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna act like someone within her situation, not like, let's see, Dante's childhood friend who goes, "Do you remember me? Hey, we were kids, we were friends," and Dante's trying to like avoid him, and then when Dante's like, "Yeah, it was me," and he's like, "Wait a second, you're a demon hunter. Stay away from me, you monster!" It's like, what? What just happened?
Yeah, and he literally was hired to like do that. It's like it's ridiculous. Like this
Don't ever
entire
talk to me ever again.
this entire anime was just falling over itself, and it really hurts.
Oh.
Like
It was trying too hard to be edgy is the problem. In some parts.
Let's talk about the animation. RJ, you want to pull up a certain picture?
All right,
Oh,
while
yes.
he's pulling up that picture, I'm gonna get on this a little bit too, because there were a lot of parts in the anime where like you could see
No.
so many different issues
So
where
I'm
Okay,
zooming
the
in, and
character
her
shouldn't
leg
be
is
standing.
missing. Her skirt is in the motorcycle. It's warping into the motorcycle.
No, this is
Yeah.
how people ride motorcycles now. They thread their leg in between the engine and the gas tank.
They just
That
kind of
is
stand
very
next to
bold.
the motorcycle, and their right leg disappears, and then they're off they go.
Okay, no. This is what happens: is you remove your leg, you stick it in the carrier case behind you, and you let the rest of your skirt still stay like it's next to the bike, and you're standing next to it, even though you're actually riding and your ass is somehow still on the seat.
Yeah.
You know,
This really hurts.
I heard the term. I heard the term fusion of man and machine, but I never thought it would be taken literally in this
Actually-
case.
I didn't know we were watching a cyberpunk.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
It's
Oh,
just
wait.
it's Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, so I'm looking at this more.
Oh, wait, what did you just say? Did you just say it's Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah.
Doesn't she kind of look like the chick from Ghost in the Shell?
Captain Otoko? Oh god.
lady?
Oh,
The more we analyze this, the
from
more
the
it's like
game.
The more we analyze this, the more it seems like it was just a bunch of fanboys wanting to make other animes, but they had to work with Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
hey,
also-
hold on. Lady is a character from the series. However, Kamiya, the creator of the series, did admit, if you watch the intro for like Blade, the movie Blade, like the nightclub scene, that's the gameplay for Devil May Cry. Lots of enemies, intense techno metal music playing, and just like
Industrial.
lots. Yeah. Industrial, basically, industrial music playing, edgy lyrics like "Taste the blood." So
Okay, hold on, because I'm looking at this more, and it's now giving me even more of a headache. Where's the lighting coming from on her body? Look at all of look at the
it's-
shadowing. Look at the
I'm gonna
shadowing.
open
It
this
doesn't
again.
make any sense because there are things that are lit that aren't supposed to be lit, and then there's like things that aren't like the top of her breast is lit. Like there's a window somewhere, and then there's like a backlit on her right arm
Yeah,
where
like,
it's hitting, and then on her left arm, but her stomach isn't, and there's a huge line on her leg that doesn't match her arms.
Look
So
at the
there is
wall behind
zero-
her.
There is
Yeah.
zero lighting, but the
they-
wall behind her actually makes sense and looks good for like the moon coming down. Like
they
that's
put
fine.
their light source in after they did the shadowing.
No, we talked about this. This has to be a cut thing from a different part of the
Yeah.
show, and they just throw it in there and then they didn't reshade it, and it's like the more I'm staring at it, the more it's like hurting.
Now I want to find this exact frame
See,
where it's like her
this is a
standing there.
visual representation of the music editing. Like I was saying, like they're like, okay, Dante's fighting a demon. What do we do for sound? Just throw in the main intro music. Da-na-na-na-na. Like they could have just thrown in some techno or industrial music, you know. But
Let's talk about that real quick. It is spoiler time, guys. All right.
we're gonna be spoiling. It's
Let
an
it-
old show, dude. We can spoil whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna
yes,
say it.
yes. I mean,
All
I'm
right.
pretty sure a
It
piece
is
of garbage
time.
is already spoiled.
Yeah. It is time to talk about the ending. All right. So, in the ending, all right.
He's Jesus.
that-
He's Jesus. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, he's Jesus. All right. That rat demon dude thing.
Sid?
summons-
Was it Sid or something?
Yeah, Sid turned in, summoned the king of hell. I guess he summoned Satan or something.
No, Sid
it was-
Sid summons the
Abigail?
energy. He becomes it. He basically
Yeah,
absorbs
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
goes
it-
for Abigail.
And then he literally crucifies
Dante.
Dante like he's Jesus. And his sword is stabbed next to his heart on the cross, and which would sever several arteries, by the way. And then and then Patty goes in, and yes, they call her Patty, goes into the shadow realm where Dante is, and finds him, and then somehow gets dragged back to the real world by Sid in his normal form, even though he's already up in the real world in like a super powerful demon Satan form. And but somehow he's also there, and he drags Patty back to the real world, in which she somehow doesn't go back through like the portal, and instead just wakes up there. And then okay, so at this point it's basically established that Dante is dead, gone. All right, all right, he has been stabbed next to his heart. That would sever several arteries. He was not responding at all when Patty was trying to wake him.
and then he
and
says,
then-
like, why do you have to ruin the only bit of sleep I get? Like, he's napping.
Yeah, he comes out of nowhere just before Patty is about to be killed, and then starts fighting this huge demon monster that Sid turned into.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't. Okay, there's no explanation for how he came back to life. He just does. And then he pulls the sword out of his chest, which would allow it, even showing that it allows him to just bleed out, but somehow he doesn't die.
I actually think that because this came out to celebrate Devil May Cry 4, that plot point, I think it's assumed that people know why Dante can come back from shit.
He's the son
Like-
of Sparta, which he's like the son of a high-ranking demon.
There's also another plot point that's covered,
like-
I think, in 2 or 3 that has to do with Virgil. And
Yeah,
that
but-
thing is,
yeah, but
that's
that's-
completely ignored for the anime.
Yeah, it's all external like material. But the thing is that it's never explained. Like,
May I say something really quick?
here's the thing: is
I must say something. You're right about this. The Shin Megami Tensei. There was an OVA. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor had an OVA, and it had the exact same friggin' problem. It was just like, we're just gonna throw this at the audience. There's gonna be Demon Guardians and the Apocalypse, and like every person who's reviewed it has said the same thing of, what the F is going on? Why am I seeing demons? Why are there guardian spirits?
So let's really break this down into this was basically just for fans. Like, if you were trying to get into Devil May Cry series, this anime was straight up just for the fans. That's all it was meant for, right?
I don't know. If I was
like it, and then if you are a fan, you have to be a diehard fan and really like it, because this is just like it was made cheaply and it kind of just got thrown at people. So like I don't even want to.
It's guilty fun. I mean, listen. I'm not gonna shit on it. Okay, I actually kind of like it. I like it. I'm not gonna say I kind of like it.
You know what else is guilty fun? The Room.
You know what's guilty fun? Ichi animes, and those had better plots.
You know what's also guilty fun?
It's sad when the entire finale to this series is the most forgettable.
Hey, let's play a game real quick. Most memorable episodes. I'll go first. Mine was, I'd have to say, episode 7, Wishes Come True. It's when he's investigating the demon that grants wishes, and some poor guy gets framed for a murder. So Dante has the bright idea of getting himself arrested so he can go into a prison to prove a man is not guilty of murder. And it turns out, surprise, surprise, in his world, where it's basically like, instead of cyberpunk, we've established it's like Cowboy Bebop. Instead of cyberpunk, it's a cult. So surprise, surprise, the corrupt police officers in that world are demons. So on certain nights, they go and hunt human inmates for sport. And on one such night, they decide to hunt everybody when Dante's there, which is a really terrible idea because he hunts demons for sport. And
I was gonna say that episode feels probably the closest to what a Devil May Cry adaptation.
Yeah. That episode was spot on. That's what I loved it so much.
And like, it didn't feel like he was going in there to prove his innocence. It seemed like he was going in there just to break him out. Like, he was gonna fight and kill people on his way out. Like, he has no respect for anyone that isn't paying him. So,
well, that's the thing though. Like, he eventually found the demon that was,
Mm-hmm. Whenever he found out that it was demons, he just went ham on everything. But yeah, that was it. Like,
that
it was just him fighting through it.
Should have been the prototype for the rest of the series.
Yeah. And even then, it was just kind of like a mediocre episode to begin with.
It would have been a better setup because it had all of the same kind of elements. Like when you play Devil May Cry, it has the tight hallways. The entire setting for that episode felt like what Devil May Cry was.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Highway Star, you could argue Highway Star could be something like visually like Devil May Cry 3. It has that urban setting, but it still isn't exactly Devil May Cry. Like, Dante doesn't hit up motorcycle gangs and hey boys, don't race that demon. It's bad for your health, kids.
That's another thing. Dante's voice actor, just the whole voice direction for the English dub compared to the original, I didn't like it because
let me see who the voice actor was.
It felt more serious than campy.
Hold on, because I did look.
Well,
let me go on this rant.
It sounded like that in the. Real quick, it sounded like that in the sub version.
It's the same voice actor as the game. It's Ruben Langdon.
Yes. Okay, I was going to go on this rant. The only person in this thing that was related to it was Landon, and he voices from that, right? Everyone else, I looked at all of their other things and I recognized some of the shows, but all of them were playing side characters. No one played a main character other than one guy that played Frieza, and I think that he just kind of stumbled on that one. Everyone else doesn't really have a huge voice acting role for the dub, at least. And
explains the cardboard characters.
They got the very like they got low-ranking people at the
Well,
studios.
Has anyone?
Characters to begin with, and that's going to just show up all over the anime, where it just doesn't sound good.
Also, Ruben Langdon voiced him for Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5. It was, I'm trying to remember the other guy's name for Devil May Cry 1 and 2.
I can look it up.
I can only
Has anyone
imagine.
looked into the Japanese cast for the anime
I'll look it up right now.
in reference to the Japanese cast for the games?
I didn't even think to do that. Let me do that really fast.
Okay,
Yeah,
we got Toshiyuki Morikawa playing Dante. Who,
Well, don't like read them all off.
Yeah.
Just while we're talking, see if anything matches up.
I mean, the guy that does Dante doesn't match up, so we can kind of assume that the rest probably don't.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Um,
Never mind.
Because they would get the main guy. So yeah, no. And I mean, this guy is pretty well known for who he is too. So they
speaking
got
of
at least
characters-
they got a decent voice actor for the Japanese version.
Yeah,
for
he's the guy who played
Dante.
Ryu in Street Fighter.
Yeah, no, like again, good voice actor, but that's for the Japanese version, and I know how their voice actor guilds work there too. So
Oh dear God, he was Sephiroth.
yeah, no. So you have him. Yeah, look at who played Trish. Yeah, her list is huge. Yeah. So I would say that the Japanese cast actually has a lot more skill than the American cast.
Yeah, it's why they
Dude.
sound like cardboard cutouts, dude. Like I said, it felt like a mediocre 2000s anime.
Well, even in the Japanese cast, it doesn't really do anything to help the show. Like maybe they did a better job than the English cast. I haven't seen the English dub, but
Oh, the English dub is horrible. I listened to the Japanese one for like 2 episodes just to like have a comparison.
Let me guess.
The Japanese version was a lot better. So whatever you're picturing right now, just imagine a lot worse. Whatever you
Like,
go through, okay?
I remember like looking away from the screen and like hearing them like say lines, and with like what vague sort of understanding of Japanese that I have, I snapped back to the screen going, holy fuck, you're going to say that like that?
hmm It also seems like they knew it was a B-list anime or C-list.
Yeah.
And
It's a
Like the Japanese the Japanese voice for Sid was just it was he just completely hammed it out the whole time.
See, now I kind of want to
So-
go back and watch the full Japanese.
okay, so I did look up. Sid actually has the least amount of dubs done. He's a live action person.
It ends up the dude died. The guy who played Sid in the Japanese version back in 2010.
No,
All
I'm
right,
looking.
so-
I'm looking, and like, yeah, no, it's not great.
So we got the guy. So we
mediocre casting, mediocre sound work.
Mhm.
It's at best, it's a guilty pleasure, and I'm kind of an optimist because I'm a fan.
That is
That's very bad.
I would say that is a massive overstatement of the anime's quality.
I'm gonna say that the only redeeming quality about this anime that I enjoyed was some of the monsters looked kind of cool.
Not
That
gonna
was about
lie.
it.
Yeah, I'll give
The
it.
vehicle design was also well done, especially the Jaguar E-Type in the first episode.
All right, so I think we kind of beat this dead horse or dead anime here.
Well,
Ah.
you guys,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
guys did not say what episodes were
Enough.
most memorable for you.
Okay, mine was whenever the hot chick was in the episode, and the guy was trying to like stalk Dante. That was the only.
Yeah. That would be
Episode 5.
That would be
That-
episode.
All right.
that was 5.
Yep.
All right. Skylar.
Personally, I think it's a tie between Rock Queen and you're gonna hate me for this one. Episode 3, Not Love. That's the one with the demon who falls in love with this
The human girl. Yep.
Yeah, the stupid love story one. Okay.
The one that you guys said that one is a poorly written shoujo.
Yeah.
It is like think of any shoujo anime you've watched, any children's princess sort of Disney fairy tale you've ever seen, and think of like the most obvious things you could possibly write in them. And then that's everything in that fucking episode.
And then
like,
just put a dark setting around it, and there you go.
Yeah, like
Congratulations.
I remember watching it, and like the servant, the servant lady goes, "Your meal's ready," and I just said, "I'm not hungry," and then she goes, "I'm not hungry."
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Leo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt this episode was more of a rip-off of Romeo and Juliet mixed in with,
Oh yeah, the town was like called the town or the estate or something was like called Capulet.
yeah. I get love the name of the characters, Brad and Angelina. Brangelina. They pretty much named it after that fucking couple from Hollywood.
Bradley and Angelina, the Romeo.
That's
Juliet.
what it was. Okay.
Brad Pitt and Angelina
I
Jolie.
forgot about Brad.
God,
Brad.
we need to do
damn
an
it.
article on this. Should I do an article on this? How there's a Devil
Do
May
it.
Cry episode named after Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Do it. Do it.
All right, 676. What was your most memorable?
Honestly, I think it's episode 7 with the I will give you any wish. No, that will not benefit you.
Oh, you're you as well. You also like episode 7.
I
That
think
was a
that
good
that
one.
7 and 9 are really hard for me to determine between. 9 loses it, I think, because of that shitty plot dump at the end.
Yeah.
RJ, you know what that episode reminds me of?
What?
You remember that episode of JoJo with the stand "Hell to You"?
Yeah. Hail to you. Hail. Yeah. They're on the island, and he's like, "I will give you any wish."
to you.
That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
All right,
fucking-
so
All right. Yeah. Moving forward. What about you?
all right, so
your turn.
my most memorable episode. I can't think of one in particular that I like remember more than the rest, but I can tell you my favorite episode,
Tell us.
and that was the last episode because it meant I didn't have to watch it again.
Actually, no, I change it. He's right. That is the best one.
That is
the best.
You know-
that is unfair to the people that would watch this on their own free will.
Only watch this on a dare.
Because they wouldn't have the ability to stop.
Here, here's
Wait. Let me give you one. Okay. So I actually have 3 episodes. I have episode 4, 5, and 7 because they reminded me the most of the game. But that's a thing. That's it.
Yeah.
The episodes that reminded
That's
me of the
fair.
game. That's it.
Which, if it's supposed to be built around, referencing the game and being a series built on the game, it should have at least the feel. You shouldn't have to have played the games to understand it, but it should make the person watching it feel the same experience.
Yeah, so if we want to like dump on that, that is a fourth of the anime that he just said, which means that the other 3/4 doesn't remind him as much as the game. And that right there is enough reason for me not to want to watch this.
Yep.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, we have all the reasons in the world not to want to watch it now.
yeah,
No, it's still fun. It's still fun. It's just they reminded me the most.
I had zero fun watching that show.
I
had
enjoyed the
I had to
prospect of ripping it apart. That's about
I
it.
had to play the game on the side.
I
on brutal
enjoyed-
difficulty just to turn the pain down.
I enjoyed the all the alcohol I was drinking while watching it.
Hey,
Dude,
Mike ended up replacing. I mean, I'm not supposed to say this like live on air, but Mike ended up replacing one of our reviewers mid-month because of this anime. Because, like he just said, he ended up playing the game to ease the pain from watching the anime, and I'm like, wait a second, you can do a review of the first game. This other dude's not doing this first game. He wants to do the third game. Okay, can you do the first game instead? Great, we have a reviewer for the first game.
Yeah. Oh man. I was watching a Bridge series animes between this on my phone just to give like the headache away. And like, I'm gonna say, if you want to watch edgy content, go watch a Bridge series. Like, just find whichever one. I was watching Fate. Any of them are better than this.
What?
Man, I was piss ass drunk the entire time I watched it, and I still noticed how shit everything was.
Oh, now this anime wasn't sobriety.
The alcohol was not helping take the pain away.
Okay. So I think it's time that we definitely rip this apart. Let's give it the final ratings, and then
let's give it
from last week.
Let's give it the boot. That's what it's going to be. It's not the final ratings. It's the boot.
Well, because RJ's rating it, we're killing it. Okay.
All right. Scott, Striker, you go first.
Oh my lord! You know,
and we are scoring these, by the way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This anime is only good if you're a fan of the series, and I mean a hardcore fan of the series, but not even the most hardcore fans of the series would touch this with a pole. This is a 5 out of 10. It's easily forgettable. I ended up watching Cowboy Bebop after this.
Wait, you gave it a 5?
All right. Hold on. All right, that's been generous. Never mind. You know what? Let's drop it down at least to 3.5.
3.5. That's fair. All right.
3.5. All right. Let's try it.
All right.
And one more thing I have to add. I'm actually surprised we haven't talked about Trish.
Who's Trish?
Lightning Girl.
We don't even really need to. Yeah.
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
Lightning Girl.
We did. We talked about her leg being gone.
No, that's
no,
Lady.
no,
That's Lady.
Yeah,
That was Lady. Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. She was standing on the building in the background, which is about
Basically what she did the whole time. No,
Yeah,
she
why-
basically
why-
was background the whole time.
Yeah, why was Trish in this show? Like, what does she do?
Yeah.
She's
Like,
from the
she
first
was
game.
in-
She's from the first game.
Okay. That doesn't mean that she has to appear.
Yep. That,
Anyway.
yeah. The only reason they put her in was to explain how Lady and Trish know each other. That's it.
Yeah. That was,
And to go shopping with her and
Oh yeah, because in
clothing
4
and
they
stuff,
know each
yeah.
other somehow. In 4, everyone's like, "Why the hell did Trish and Lady know each other?"
That's the only reason they put it in.
all right. Okay. Fair enough.
Getsuru,
Okay.
you're up.
This anime was just god awful. Like me and my friends used to have this competition of finding the worst animes to watch. Like we were going through like some of the worst itchies, like finding like the lowest rating ones, just finding everything. This beat most of them. Like by far, this beat most of them. I wish I would have found this one to like watch drunk with my friends back in like 2013, because this would have won a couple of those competitions. And I can't give it higher than like a 2. It was that bad.
All right, 676.
I'm pretty much at a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3 mainly because like there were at least a couple scenes where I'm like, that's funny. It's a little campy like the games, but overall, just my ears were wanting to bleed with some of the sound design, which lost a major amount of points. I want to be able, since I have to listen to the shit they're doing, I would like it to be pleasant. Bad animation, just all of it, nah, it's a 3. Overall, this I feel dirty after watching this anime.
All right,
So you feel really dirty. Like, yeah,
I need a shower after watching this. I had to have a palate cleanser.
like you feel used. That's how bad it is.
All right. RJ.
I was gonna give it an 8, but then I realized that would just be being a blind fanboy. 7. I gotta be. I can't. I'm sorry. I love the series. Knowing I can't shut off the context. Normally, I give really objective reviews. This one, I have to be honest. I can't. What I do know is Dante is based off of Space Adventure Cobra. There's a couple YouTube channels talking about this. Space Adventure Cobra is a series that I came across by accident. I'm not gonna go too far into it right now in this podcast. At some point, we'll come across him. Similar character to Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Whimsical, sharp wit, carries a gun, under pressure.
Whimsical.
Well, whimsical, given the situation he's in. Like, a mass murderer comes up and says, he'll be like, instead of being like, "Oh no, please don't kill me," he's like, "Gee, we're gonna tango again." Like he'll say like a smart ass line like that. Dante's the same way.
I'd call that like cool, not whimsical.
Oh,
I guess it's just a bad word to use.
I guess, but in D&D, a bard. It's kind of like a bard. It's a spoony bard. The point is, that personality type, one of the biggest characters to start off was Cobra, and then Lupin, and then, Lupin, and then Cobra, and then Spike, and then Dante's character, Kamiya, Hideki Kamiya, Dante's creator, admit he's borrowed a lot. He's borrowed a lot from other mediums. So,
Well,
but anyways, point being, I see the flaws. I even pointed it out myself. The sound editing is lazy. It feels like a generic 2000s anime. Best, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And I'm a fan, so that's the best I'm gonna give it.
All right.
Do we want to round?
Right.
Do we want to round? Hold on. Do we want to round what?
Yeah. We. Hold on. I still have to give mine.
Okay.
Okay, 7.
All right. So this was possibly the worst show that I've ever actually sat down and watched all the way through. Normally, if I see something this bad, I drop it after the first episode. I probably drop it 5 minutes into the first episode. Okay? I said I was drunk the whole time. Like, it was... I can't even begin to describe it. Like, the only thing I'm happy about after watching this is never seeing it again. So
Be honest, dude.
this was a level of incompetence that I have not experienced in a long time.
well, I think we all have with the Berserk anime recently, so.
I haven't seen that.
Man,
Oh, well, then you will have the same experience.
So, yeah, I give it. I give it a 2. It's terrible. Okay, if I was a fan of Devil May Cry, I'd be insulted. If I was the biggest fanboy in the world, I would be more angry about it than I am now. I would hate it even more. Like, this is an insult to anyone who plays Devil May Cry or watches it, or likes it in any way.
yeah, this anime is so stupid that we all felt
Hold
a
on.
lot dumber
Yep.
actually watching it.
All right.
What's the
so our
score?
average just came out to a 3.5. And just to compare this to every other site really fast, just to go through the IMDb rating, which is a 7.2. Most people averaging around 7 to 8. And I did decide to go through a little bit on these two, and I'll get to that in a second. The anime, my anime list rates it a 7.09, and the
Well, I feel like
TV.com reviews this at an 8.8. Now, I did decide to go back and read the reviews. Almost all the reviews are from around the time that this came out. So you're looking at people that were just immersed in the game, probably typed it in, were anime fans, were
Hype
like,
writing.
"I'm gonna watch it," and then just hype watched it. And then they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing because now I can watch the anime and then I can play the game." And then like you're also looking at like agey like 16-year-old teenagers playing this back in 2008 9, just watching this, consuming this, and you're gonna get that perspective. So just to kind of even this out, this is 12 years later. We're looking back on this going,
I mean, hello, hi.
Why did this even come out?
I'm not a teenager anymore, but I'm still pretty edgy.
and there's your 7. And that's your 7 right there. The guy that reviewed it as a 7 is on par with every other person that reviewed it at about a 7 rating. There you go.
I could honestly say that Shell the Hedgehog was a better character than Dante
No,
and Ethan.
no, fuck off. Shadow, Shadow's a
this
ripoff
kind
of
of
Dante. No,
This
no.
kind of felt like a Shadow the Hedgehog anime.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I agree with that statement.
No. Shadow's inferior to Dante.
I don't know. I like Shadow's.
form.
No,
Shadow's
Cold
really
Steel the
like
Hedgehog was a better character than Dante.
No.
Not impersonal, kid.
All right, so
Should there be a
so-
death battle? Should we hit up Screw Attack and be like Dante versus Cold Steel the Head?
No. Dante from the animated only versus Shadow.
all right, so
Anyway.
Well, hold on, really quick. Just imagine the stats. Like he graduated the top of his class, and he was recommended for the Sonic military. But Dante from the anime blew up a bridge, got yelled at. Go ahead.
Yeah.
all right, so we've we just reviewed what we're supposed to review this week. But last week when we tried to do the podcast
We had some
on
technical issues.
yeah, we were trying to do a podcast on Rising of a Shield Hero and The Promised Neverland, and we lost the audio.
Yeah.
I promise you, it was a great podcast, the best podcast we've ever done, but you're never going to be able to see it. Sorry.
We're gonna do a recap. He's joking around.
Yep.
So, gentlemen, from what you remember from watching Promised Neverland and Rising of a Shield Hero,
Just
Just
everyone.
kind of like a gist. I think it would be the best thing because we're I think everyone just kind of give your like what you did for like the end review because we're kind of pressed on time. And I'll start. Let's go with Shield Hero first because we started with Shield Hero. Shield Hero is probably one of the better ones in the genre, and the entire anime just kind of takes you on its own ride through Shield Heroes being basically banished from society through all of the hardship that the kingdom is putting on him just because they look down on
the Shield Hero.
the fact that they got the Shield Hero. It was unfortunate that he got summoned into that land and they just look at him and they're like, oh look, it's the support class, kick him away, like no one cares, whenever he's actually one of the more powerful heroes. And I mean, from everyone dumping on him to the church not helping him to people refusing to help him, he's
Even the king has his guts.
Yeah, like everyone in this anime just hates him, and then like it's him struggling, and like even having like a kind of rude exterior but still showing like his true nature of like wanting to help people out, just being very cautious because he doesn't want to be screwed over again. You see these people slowly coming out of the woodworks in support of him throughout the entire anime, and like the people that are closest to him can see who he really is. And I think that like it's been one of the best written of that genre in a while.
Is it my turn?
Sure.
Oh man, Shield.
Let's make these quick.
All right, I'm gonna be quick and right to the point. Shield Hero, one of the best animes of the season. It's basically him against the world, and the only characters he has are two slaves. To be honest, I give this anime an 8.5 out of 10.
Dude, we're not doing that. We're doing first impressions.
All right. Shit. All right.
All right.
It is a great anime. It is a great anime. I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike.
Honestly, Shield Hero, I loved it. It brought me back to when I first watched like Dot Hack Sign or whatever, and it had a
Hell yeah.
really good struggle for the main character. I loved it. And what Stryker just said, that him against the world. It is the best definition, taking this idea of your role-playing game and player versus environment. He is more or less against every level of the world. I love it. It got great character development. I highly recommend it.
It leaves you at the edge of your seat. That's how.
All right. Red Baron.
Howdy. So, at some point, we're going to talk about Shield Hero again, because I recognize something, and it's the Marvel Comics Secret Wars arc. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but the main point of this wonderful anime is that there's these catastrophes happening that the heroes have to stop. And I already suspect as to what those catastrophes are, because I've skipped ahead. Or, I've read the manga. I have read the manga, but basically, I'm not going to spoil it, but what these guys are saying is on point. It's a guy who gets stuck in a situation he has zero control over, but he adapts to it so well. And there's some things I don't like, just when it reminds me that it's a freaking isekai. Like the moments where the show reminds me it's an isekai, like, oh, this world this world that. But it's something we talked about during our last discussion, which got lost, unfortunately. But regardless of that flaw, it's still fun, because it kind of reminds me of Goblin Slayer. Like when Goblin Slayer is learning how to make friggin' ice cream, and he's really inventive. Well, Shield Hero, Naofumi, the Shield Hero, he'll learn that his shield can take herbs and make them a lot more potent, and he'll craft potions out of them, and he'll cure villages that are sick, and that's how he initially becomes known. He starts helping people with the powers that he has, because he's very inventive with those powers. And I love a character that's inventive. Like, I'm a huge fan of Batman, because Batman's very inventive. Batman's not just, brawl. He's not just, like some commando who just sneaks around. He's a very inventive person. He sets, plans in the mode. I'm sorry. He puts backup plans behind backup plans behind backup plans.
He understands having a contingency.
Yes, and I this character is like that. I love it. I love the show. I love him.
All right. Yeah, I'm basically in agreement with everyone. Rising of the Shield Hero is pretty great. As a very nice best girl. And it's I would rather be watching that than most other isekais that really ever show up. I'm kind of sick of the genre, but this one's pretty good, and it's worth watching, even if you're sick of isekai. All right, now let's move on to Promised Neverland.
Jesus Christ, it's just Chicken Run, but anime.
It's Chicken Run, but nobody's laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, those
Alright,
damn chickens are up to
I
something.
still, I still retain that I'm still gonna keep calling it the Happy Holocaust.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that is legitimately what I call this anime. It's the Happy Holocaust. Anyone want to start?
Did the Happy Holocaust happen?
Oh god. Honestly,
All right.
Let's not go down that road.
No.
Striker, you start.
Oh my god. You know, at first, because of how the characters look, it looked really moe-ish. I thought I was gonna hate it. But then, that anime halfway through goes 0 to 100 real fucking quick. Real talk,
Like-
this anime will actually put you on the edge of your seat. It's not what it looks like. It actually, it's ridiculous. And I mean it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The plot, the premise. Honestly, one of the best animes of the season. I'm not kidding. It really is. Go ahead, guys.
We did talk about last time. What we all agreed on was the sound design. Like the music seems out of place on some parts, especially
Yeah,
the
they just not
freaking
bad.
freaking intro. Like, I'm like, I'm sorry. Is this like is there's a genre for that, isn't there? Like The World Ends With You. That's that Square Enix game. Like cutesy children in dark situations. Like that's got to be a genre, right? Because I keep seeing this kind of music, and it's like pop music, and it just kind of ruins the mood.
All it needs is a little ear rape, and someone needs to do a shitpost version of the intro. For real. I'm not kidding. When the saxophone drops, that's when shit gets real.
Well, yeah, if they made the intro scarier, it would make more sense. But it's more like it's more like the children have hope and stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry, no, this is just like a very like brainlit intro because there's
All right.
like I don't know. I'm sorry, the tone for the first few episodes was the first episode was weird. And that tone carries on through the next few episodes, but you guys will see what I mean. Those listening, it's all right. It's an okay anime, but there are moments where you'll be like, why is this a thing? Go ahead.
All right. So let's go to Getsuru.
So, I think this is honestly one of the best animes, not only like this season, but probably this generation of animes. Whenever you think, at least late 2010s, kind of like era, this is going to be like one that people go back to. It's so much like the mind games that you got with Death Note, and it's so well done where it keeps you on the edge of your seat, where you're able to sit down and talk about all the different strategies, all the different things they came up with throughout the entire thing. That I think that this is one of like the defining animes on how well an anime can be written and how well a storyline can be done. And with the dramatic backgrounds of characters too. Like, even though these characters are only 11 for some of them, like younger, many of them have these crazy background stories just growing up on essentially what is a farm. And you would think that it's because it's an orphanage, it's the same thing every day, but they have complex backgrounds with different personalities. And then on top of that, the outside world is so complex that we don't even know what's truly going on at any given point, or what's going to happen, or like where everyone's going. Like, we know that a couple of these kids are getting farmed, but we don't know if there's living kids, or like if they grew up, or like what happened to like some of the kids that maybe didn't die because they have to keep farming these kids. So there's so much of a mystery behind it. And like I just watched the most recent episode today, and there's so many twists just within that one episode that like I don't even know what's going to happen, and I have no speculation anymore. It really, it's been an anime that spins it spins itself on its head in a way that you don't expect it, in such a creative and well driven way, each and every episode, and I can't get enough of it.
All right. 676.
I absolutely love Promise Neverland. I'm probably going to also add, I think it's probably one of the best of the season. Mainly because I love an anime that knows how to tackle philosophical content without being on the nose and in your face about it. And they do an excellent job doing this, to the point where you have main characters that epitomize ideas of realism, optimism, and pessimism in a unique and well-written way. It's so wonderful. Even the questions and overtones presented throughout the entire series is amazing. Yet again, the Shield Hero and Neverland are both must-watches in my eyes at this moment.
You can tell the audience what you mean by that, because Ray is the pessimist.
Ray is your pessimist, Emma is your optimist, and Norman's your realist. And that connection between the three and how they assist and push each other into different realms of each philosophy is brilliant. The way that they force each philosophy from the other to have to confront these other ideas. They do it in such a brilliant way.
All right. Red Baron.
I mean, I went. I didn't. I said I'm okay
Oh,
with it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you went first, didn't you?
I went second.
Oh,
I went
okay.
first.
All right, so that just leaves me then. Yeah, The Promised Neverland. It is. Imagine stretching a rubber band to right before its breaking point, or imagine overinflating a balloon, or overinflating anything, really. Like at any point in time, the tension in the air in this show can be cut with a knife. It is impossible to look away from the screen. It is impossible to lean back in your chair. If you blink, you'll feel like you missed something. You'll feel like something happened that, it is possibly just the most intense thing I've seen in maybe the past 5 years.
Actually, I was going to say, I'd like
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, with that tension building, working with such a small setting as well, that's just that small area to build tension in such a way is magnificent.
Yeah. Sorry, getting a little tired. Anyway, it is heart pounding. It is gut wrenching. And just watch it. Just watch The Promised Neverland. If you are not watching it right now, what are you doing watching us? Go watch The Promised Neverland.
I was gonna say to add to what Mike said, and to what you said, there's scenes in that farmhouse where the intensity is like something straight out of a horror film, and rightfully so. But Full Metal Alchemist, especially Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, had these sort of scenes, but they were the span of a town or a country. This is doing that kind of intensity, that suspense in a farmhouse with hallways.
I made the comparison during last week's podcast. It reminded me of Misery, where all of the tension was built in a single house. Even though you have a small setting, every little facet of traversing that house and trying to get your way out or whatever is tension building.
Yeah. So,
Comparison.
Alright, so, basically, everyone's in agreement. watch Rising of a Shield Hero. Watch Promised Neverland.
Don't watch
we
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, don't watch Devil May Cry. I almost forgot that show existed because we were talking about these two other shows. It was like we
had
got
to end on a
transported.
good note, didn't we? That's
Yeah.
why
Why
we
did
saved
JoJo Golden win?
summary.
But yeah. What was like? Yeah. It's sad that we didn't get to release that other podcast. Well, I guess we released it, but no one could hear the audio. Because we couldn't do like full like proper conversations.
No, that was our Zen podcast.
Yeah. So you can't get like the full detail of what we think about it, but we love it. It's good. And if you're interested, go watch it. So everyone wanna say their goodbyes? Let's start with Striker.
Well, even though last Saturday's podcast was well,
Just
we had
say
to tell-
goodbye.
all right. I know that bombshell. We are out of here. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Signing out. Later.
Later.
Mike, you
Hope you guys had a good time. Please don't watch Devil May Cry unless you want your ears
Nope.
and face to bleed. Have a good night, all.
All right, Red Baron signing out. Take care.